Hey folks, how's it going? This is Seagull here, and today I'm doing a predictions video for what we may get in 2025 for The Sims 4, now that the year is officially underway. And with the Sims franchise turning 25 years old in February, actually, so not a long time away, I wonder how different of a year this will be compared to previous ones. Hopefully they will do some really cool stuff to celebrate. And, well, I might as well just get into what I think the roadmap will be called. And I think it'll be called Season of Celebration, because really that just seems to be the most appropriate thing you could call a roadmap for such a huge milestone taking place in the middle of it. There is one thing that we do already know is happening this season, and that is the return of Behind the Sims. Finally, after quite a while, we're getting another one of these like 15 to 20 minute live streams where they announce new things related to The Sims. Not just The Sims 4, but also the mobile games like mobile and free play. And also they typically talk about Project Renee, and we haven't heard much about that in quite a while. So hopefully this will also mean that they are ready to finally talk more about that game. But yeah, there's probably going to be something really big revealed on that. It was announced in a blog post a few months ago that also confirmed the existence of a Sims movie in the works, that they are going to kick things off with an episode of Behind the Sims in January 2025. So we're probably going to know about when exactly in January this is going to be very soon. Maybe by the end of this week we'll know. Or even if they want to really do this at a fast pace, they could just announce it a couple of days in advance, Nintendo Direct style, and have it it's like announced on Tuesday and already done on Thursday. So maybe they will have some information about the movie. I don't know. I think it depends a lot on when it'll come out, because with movies, it's not the same sort of advertising cadence as games, where they tend to reveal stuff closer to the release date. Like, I still remember people agonizing over the Sonic 3 like first trailer. It took so long to come out, but just because they wait much longer to reveal that. So I don't know. I'm not even sure if that movie is coming out this year. It could be next year for all we know, but it would make sense to release it on the 25th anniversary, like at least sometime during the year. If the movie does release this year, then it'll probably be either this summer or just in time for the holidays, since those are really big times for movies to release. But my gut feeling says it's not going to be as soon as this summer. It's going to be at least towards the fall. As far as the games go, I think aside from Project Renee, with The Sims 4, they'll probably reveal some kind of big feature. I'm going to make a really bold prediction and say this is it. This is when we finally get a Cars reveal. You know why? Because it'll be Murphy's Law in action. Because I'll be out of the country very likely by the time this is shown. So, you know, just to spite me, they'll do that. When I'm out of the country and unable to do a live reaction of them teasing Cars, the thing that I want the most from the game right now and have for quite a while, yeah, that would happen. That absolutely would happen to me. So, yep, this will be when it happens. They'll probably announce multiple DLC as well, because we get kits pretty much every quarter, so we'll probably get some more. And then with creator kits, that kind of throws a wrench into things, because now that we are getting those too, I still am not sure if that's going to increase the amount of kits that we get per quarter, or if it'll stay the same, and it's just that some of them will happen to be creator kits instead of just standard ones, I guess you could say. 100% maxes created ones. But I'm sure we'll get kits. As much as I hate that, that's just the reality right now. But I think there's going to be at least something besides kits. Maybe a stuff pack, because it's been nearly a year since Crystal Creations. But if they were going to put out something at least somewhat big around the anniversary, maybe then this is the Game Pack's opportunity to finally return since Werewolves in 2022. And, well, it would make sense for it to be like a birthday game pack, like my first birthday or my birthday stories, you know, all those sorts of tired jokes that we've done so many times. But it just would make sense if they were to do a season of celebration that they would have some sort of celebrating pack. And we already have sort of like the standard party packs. Like we have luxury party stuff. We got that party essentials kit last year too. So if they were to do something around a celebration, it would, I think, have to be more specific. I think it is, or at least I would hope it is too soon for us to get another expansion pack, because Life and Death just came out at the very end of October. And then if we were to get an expansion pack somehow this quarter, that would mean 3 seasons in a row that we get an expansion pack release, because last summer, Season of Love, Love Struck, and then last fall with Life and Death, the season of To Be Continued. So I think that would be too much. Maybe the next quarter, just like the very end of spring / early summer. But yeah, I think with the timing of Life and Death, that would make it too soon for an expansion pack in time for the 25th anniversary. So that's it for the first quarter. There's a lot to talk about there, but that's going to set the tone for the whole year, especially considering it's going to be such a big milestone for the franchise. So I think the most stuff probably will happen, except for maybe in the fall. So what about the rest of the year? Well, I think at least by the end of the second quarter, we will have a stuff pack, whether it comes out in this current quarter or the second quarter. And then we'll, I'm sure, have an expansion pack by the end of August. But what would the expansion pack be about? I don't know. It's so much harder to predict expansion packs now versus like 2015 because we have pretty much all the predictable themes by now. I mean, I've been very vocal about wanting a hobbies expansion pack, so I think that could happen. I mean, it would just be such a good late game per se sort of pack, because you could tie together so many of the sort of like gameplay objects we've had over past packs while introducing a whole bunch of new ones. It's just like what they did with the Sims 2 Free Time. That was actually a really good expansion pack to have towards the end. So it'd be a good way of also just having a bunch of stuff that we've asked for that haven't fit into previous packs. If we still don't get game packs back this year, then that should, I think, increase the chances of us getting a Supernatural expansion pack this fall. I don't think it'd be right on Halloween again, probably November. But I wonder how they'd make it compelling this time around. Like, I'm just thinking about The Sims 3 Supernatural and how it had some pretty popular occults in it. Witches, and werewolves, and zombies, and fairies, and also a couple of features for vampires, because we already had them in Late Night a few years before that. But then it's just like, when it comes to The Sims 4, we have many of those already, so it's like, okay, what's left? Fairies is the biggest one for sure. And then zombies, I guess maybe unicorns, because we didn't really get anything in terms of gameplay with unicorns in Horse Ranch. It's just like, oh, a couple of cosmetics that make them look kind of like unicorns, but then don't really have any powers. It's just kind of especially compared to what we had in The Sims 3 Pets. So I think what they would do is, if you only had this new Supernatural pack, you would have unicorns fully functional, but you would not have horses. And then if you just had Horse Ranch, then you would just have the regular horses and that unicorn horn, but you would not have functional unicorns with powers. You would still need the new pack for that. And then if you had both, then it would be possible to make a horse into a unicorn. I'm not sure how it could be done, but it could be an interesting like quest line or something. They already put out Snowy Escape without you needing seasons to run it, so I don't think that's out of the question. Oh, right, I forgot about Plant Sims. They would go very well with fairies, I think. And I think they deserve an upgrade, much like what Ghost got with Life and Death, with the skill tree and all of that. So yeah, okay. Fairies and Plant Sims, that could probably be a pack in the future. And then with stuff packs and kits, it's even harder to predict because those are so much more niche. It can be just about anything. So I feel like with kits, maybe we'll get an office supplies kit this year. Well, not just supplies, but just like the office in general. I'm surprised that we haven't had a kit like that yet. I think we could also get a kit that's themed around video games, although that could be a stuff pack as well. I remember with one of the stuff pack votes we had years ago, one of the ideas was an arcade stuff pack, so I could imagine that happening eventually. That's like another thing that I'm surprised that they haven't already done. If they don't do that, I could imagine them doing a career-focused stuff pack, like paranormal stuff, where you have one career as one of the main features. But then it's just like, what career exactly could it be? I mean, we didn't get a daycare career in Growing Together, which I feel like that really should have been in there, and it would have, even though as much as I like Growing Together, would have made that feel like a much more full pack. But I could imagine a daycare career, an active career that is, not a rabbit hole. Just think like what we had in the Sims 3 Generations, but as a stuff pack, I could imagine that being a thing. Though, depending on how many new gameplay objects they would want to add, maybe that could even scale up to a game pack, especially considering Dream Home Decorator being its own game pack, compared to the Sims 3 Ambitions that had several careers, including the interior designer. Oh, going back to kits for a second, how have they not done an infants kit? I feel that would sell very well. I mean, we did get that Storybook Nursery kit last year that collabed with Sixm, but it's not that infant specific, considering nurseries can also be for toddlers. So perhaps an infant clothing kit. I could imagine that happening. In terms of free content, we'll probably get more Sims Delivery Express drops relating to various cultures. Maybe we'll even get one in February relating to Black History Month. Also, Spiral Stairs. When are we going to get those? I could imagine that being a large build-related update at some point. With Create a Sim, it'd be really cool if instead of simply just getting more hair color swatches, that we were able to customize the color the same way we can now with makeup and skin tones. That would be quite ambitious, though. I'm not entirely sure if they would even do this, especially this late into the game's life. There'd be so many hairs to update. And I'd feel awful for Create a Sim creators because it already sounded horrible when we got those new hair swatches some years back to update their hairstyles for that. But something that I think would be far more likely in the Create a Sim department is heterochromia. That I think would be pretty neat to see. Walking canes are another free feature I could imagine them doing this year. Even though it was paid content in The Sims 3, nowadays I feel they would consider the fact that not only elders use walking canes. I even knew someone briefly, I'm pretty sure he was in his 20s, and he had a disability that made it so that he was always walking around using a cane. So it's not just, oh, when you're an elder, you may use a walking cane. It's not only when you're at that age. Oh, right. And those limited time events, they're probably going to continue those, as much as I would love for those to go away. But I guess those will be more predictable. Probably in Valentine's Day one will be the next one. Or something related to the Sims anniversary, and it includes some fun trivia as you complete different goals. And then something revolving around Easter, something revolving around summer that gets your Sims to go outside, do outdoor activities. And in the fall, something related to Halloween, and then probably another holiday related event. I don't think they're going to rerun the same ones that they've done before, even though it would make sense to have opportunities to get the items again. But I think they want to really capitalize on that FOMO even more by having it be all new items every time. Oh, one last prediction before I close out this video. Bands expansion pack, because I did do that video recently going over some possible hints towards a bands pack, and I know that is a fairly highly requested thing. So yeah, if those other things I talked about in the video don't come true, maybe it's bands. I would love to see that. But I suppose that is it. It'll be interesting to come back to this video at the end of the year and see how much I got right, how much I got wrong, how much I was kind of on the right track but didn't quite get. Feel free to let me know your predictions for 2025 for The Sims in the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my latest gaming content. Oh my gosh, skateboards. I would love to see those. But I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.